just kind of wanted to go on and put on some predictions of matches that I feel that will probably be taking place at WrestleMania. So let's let's jump into it, and let's kind of jump into what we already have. So as of right now, we have Io Sky versus Bailey. I think that's going to be a great match. Bailey is a phenomenal performer. She's one of the best women wrestlers over there, minus Rhea Ripley and whatnot. But as as she is a great performer with the microphone and you know in the ring as well. So for that, I mean, she's just top notch. And on top of that, she's always forth pushing her opponents, making them look better and them better. She's always wanting to put other people over and not really thinking of herself. So for that, I really, at this point, it's kind of a given. Bailey's probably going to win that. So that's just my opinion there. So let's go ahead and talk about Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. And let me just say too, WrestleManias are the hardest to predict. You can kind of guess, but with Rhea Ripley, she's top dog. She's been there for a while. And now Becky Lynch, she's always been a top dog. She's been the man, Becky two belts. These are the hardest to predict because you never know. After WrestleMania, it's like a start over. So you don't know what directions they really want to go. So do they want to start the new year with Becky Lynch or Rhea Ripley? Both of them are more than capable of doing it. So, WrestleMania is one of the harder matches to predict. Some of them obviously will be able to tell right away. For me, Bayley's going to steal the show. If you ask me, I think Rhea Ripley's going to kill it. I think she's going to keep her title. She'll retain. I have that feeling. Becky Lynch has her story. Kind of everybody has a story at this time in WWE. It'd be nice if we had less stories and, more, use other terms, ever since Cody Rhodes started his story, now everybody else has a story. And yeah, it's kind of, let's come up with some new terms. So, for me, I think Rhea Ripley's going to take it. That's my opinion, unless they want a fresh start. But then again, Roman Reigns has had the belt for how long? I know it's very unprecedented because obviously Mr. McMahon, when he was there, he wanted Roman Reigns as the guy, and he wanted to keep him the guy as long as he could. Now with him gone, I don't know if they're going to try to push the women's title and try to make it so it's as prestigious as that and try to not flip the belt as so often, because the more you flip a belt, it becomes less and less prestigious because it's like, well, anybody can hold the belt at that point. You want somebody like Gunther, how he's had the Intercontinental Championship for months. He's putting some prestigiousness behind that belt. He's making it mean something. He's making it relevant again. And I have a feeling that's what they might do with this. And nothing against Becky Lynch. She's amazing. But I think Rhea Ripley is still that much better. And I think she's also... And I don't mean, obviously... I mean, when I say better... I mean, she's not a better performer. But, I mean, when it comes to her on the mic and her playing her role, she is just... a bombshell every time. She nails it every time. Becky Lynch is good, but I mean, Rhea Ripley makes you just love her, and I mean that's why I think she's also going babyface. So at the end of the day, we could see her lose the belt and actually go babyface, and something would happen between her and Dom Dom, and they break up or whatever. But that's kind of my prediction. Rhea Ripley's going to keep it, but I think if she loses it, she's going babyface. That's my guess. She'll go babyface. Next, we're going to go Seth freaking Rollins and Drew McIntyre. I think this is kind of a long time coming, and I think Drew McIntyre's kind of come into his own here. We all know how great Seth is. Him on the mic, his dance, his song, everything. He's top notch. So for me, when it comes to Seth Rollins, I think this is going to be one of those where he's going to lose, and I think Drew McIntyre is going to take the belt. And I think this is WWE giving Drew McIntyre the run that he was supposed to have back in the pandemic that he never got. That's my guess. Seth has had it for a while. He's dealing with a lot of injuries. I know they were talking about that, his back and everything. So I think this is a way for them to get the belt off him and let him go take care of him and his own wellness for a while. So that would be my guess for that match. So, okay, now let's talk about Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. I mean, hands down, if Cody Rhodes does not finish his story this time around, it's going to blow the wind out of every... I mean, they're going to have a riot in the stadium. Let's be honest. They will have a riot in the stadium. People will be so mad if he does not win this time around. And to stretch this story a whole nother year, I mean, I don't see it happening. But I said the same thing last year. But I think it's a little different this year because you can't see Roman Reigns losing the belt anywhere other than WrestleMania. That's the top show. He's the top dog. That's what it is. And he's had it for so long, it's kind of beyond that SummerSlam. You know, even SummerSlam, it's beyond that. So for me, when it comes to this match, I think they're going to do it. They're going to pull the trigger. And I really think Cody Rhodes is going to take it. And if they don't take it, then I don't know what they're doing. Because I don't think he can keep up enough steam and motivation for a whole nother year like he did this year, you know, to push for another WrestleMania. And like I said, I don't think SummerSlam, I mean, they call WrestleMania the grandest stage of them all for a reason. He can't lose it at SummerSlam. It just doesn't make sense. Like, he is the guy. He's the top guy. He's that prestigious. He's had it that long. He is the Hulk Hogan of our era. So for that, I don't see him losing it anywhere but WrestleMania. It's just, you know, he's too big now at this point. So, you know, if he was like Seth Rollins, where he had the belt for a year, maybe a half a year or something, just a year and a half. Okay, you can imagine SummerSlam, but, you know, going on as long as he's had it, no way. It's going to be a WrestleMania, and I'm guaranteeing you, I'd put all the money I have on it that Cody Rhodes is going to take it. Now, another match that isn't listed, I think they're going to do also a Judgment Day, which would be a Finn Balor and a Damian Priest versus The Miz and R-Truth. I know a lot of people don't like The Miz. He's been there a long time. He's a great performer. I don't like it when he does his little stupid, you know, he does his talk show and then he comes in and gets stomped and destroyed. You know, I like to see the wrestlers kind of perform at a... Let's just say it. I don't like seeing him getting trashed the way he does. You know what I mean? Whenever... Thank God they're making him more serious. And it's kind of weird to say when you have R-Truth and, you know, he's in Austria and he's not in Australia. So, yeah. So I think that's going to be one match. And I think that's what's going to kind of lead to the downfall of the Judgment Day. Because I think The Miz and R-Truth are going to take the titles from Damian and Finn Balor. That is my guesstimation. I could be wrong. The match isn't booked yet, but that's what I'm guessing. That they're going to take the titles, and that's what's going to cause an issue. Here's my thinking. They're going to lose the titles. Rhea Ripley will either be one, the only one with a title left, or two, she won't have the title, and they will have the title, and they'll have some disagreements, or she's not mommy anymore, and they'll break apart, or they just won't all have titles, and then they'll just literally self-implode. So, I mean, she's not a babyface, but for as popular as she is, you can't help but to say she's a babyface. She's not Gunther. You know, Gunther comes out, everybody hates him and trashes him and boos him. That's Gunther. That's a true heel. Now, with her, she gets more cheers than boos. So for me, yeah, she tries to play the heel role, but she's gotten herself over so much where she's gotten herself over so by showing how good she is on the mic and her performance and everything, where she tried to get herself over as a heel and actually made herself like even surpassed, you know, a babyface and made it into just a straight star. So yeah, I mean, she's on that next level. So for me, like I said, I think Judgment Day is going to either fall apart or Rhea Ripley will have her title and then she'll rag on everyone, or, you know, she may lose her title. But at the end of the day, I think Damian Priest and Balor will lose their title to The Miz and R-Truth. And I also think Rhea Ripley will keep her belt. Unless they're going to do, they could also do the swapperoo, take Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch is back, because they do have the baby. And we as fans, we don't know what their whole situation is, but they both seem to be at the show every time. But, you know, maybe they're just, maybe Seth Rollins is going to go rehab, take care of himself, and then maybe Becky Lynch will take the reins. But at the end of the day, I'm still sticking with Rhea. Now, another match that they're probably going to do. Now, they've kind of set the stage for it. It's going to be a Jimmy versus Jey Uso. Now, for me, this is a match I'm excited about because I don't think they've ever done a true brother versus brother, you know, Jimmy and Jey, where they hated each other kind of match. They've always had their matches as like a friendly competition, but in this standpoint, you got Jey as the babyface and Jimmy as the heel, you know, and with that, I think this is gonna set the stage for a good match. I could be wrong, but I truly think that's the angle they're going, especially how Jimmy rang the bell on Jay's match and made him lose to Gunther. And I was starting to think maybe Gunther and Jey, but with that being said, I don't see it happening because now Gunther's requesting like a new opponent for WrestleMania. Chad Gable stepped up. Do I think Chad Gable's gonna get it? I don't know. It's kind of a hard call. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do with Gunther, and to be honest with you, I don't know if they really know what's gonna happen with Gunther, just for the fact of, you know, everything that's happened. You know, CM Punk, he's injured. Now they had to do something else, and then The Rock, then that had to get changed. I'm going to be honest with you, that's with the Gunther situation. I think they're flying by the seat of their pants when it comes to Gunther. That's my opinion. Just because the simple fact of I don't think they really know what they're doing. I mean, they haven't really pushed anybody into a storyline with him except for Chad Gable, who he has history with. But as of recently, he hasn't had history. It's like he now steps up and says, "Oh, I want a chance." So, I mean, it's kind of a hard call. I don't know where they're going to go with Gunther. But what I do know is if, well, this is more hoping than wanting or knowing. If Gunther's in a match, I'm hoping Gunther wins. He is perfect in every standpoint when it comes to a wrestler. He makes you feel, if you stand in the ring across from him, makes you feel like he's gonna. I mean, I'm 6'5". I'm like 300 something pounds. Let me tell you, if I stood across the ring from Gunther, you can hear how hard he slaps. I'm good. No, thank you. I don't want to be slapped by that. So I really hope he wins because I like his reign. I like how he's being a heel. I like how Da Vinci and all of them are like, you know, Imperium. They're starting to actually get their boost. That's kind of nice too because I was kind of tired of seeing them lose all the time. It was kind of getting rough because I actually liked Imperium. So yeah, well, now this is the one that I put money on, and I have a gut feeling that Bianca Belair will be at WrestleMania, and I have a gut feeling it's going to be against Jade Cargill. I think they pulled Jade from Elimination Chamber. I think they. I don't know if that was just because Raquel came back, or I don't know. I don't know. I know as much as you guys do because I read the stories. That's about it. And half that stuff you can't, believe. But as far as Raquel and Bianca, I think. See, the way they brought Jade Cargill in, they brought her in like a star. So with them bringing her in like that, I don't think they're trying to overplay their hand with her. I don't think it's one of those things. The less you see of her makes you want to see her more, kind of deal. Where they don't want to sit there and just flood the TV with her, because then you're gonna be like, well, I'm kind of tired of her, because she hasn't really set a name for herself. I mean, they've given her character, they've given her that that boost of stamina and that boost of personality, and they kind of helped her come into her own. But they don't want to flood the TV with her, kind of like what they do with Roman. Roman's only around once every 6-7 years. He's only around once in a while, every few months. So it's kind of same thing with that. And I think until she actually has like her first one-on-one, I think it's going to stay that way. And I think come WrestleMania, it will be a Jade versus Bianca. Now, do I see how that goes? I think that it would almost have to be Jade Cargill winning. Because you don't want to invest this much time and effort into somebody and then like make her a star. I mean, they're giving her the red carpet, everything here. They don't want to sit and make her a star and then turn around and just bomb her first match. I don't see that happening. I think they put too much time and effort and built so much into it. I don't think she's going to lose. So I think if she is at WrestleMania, and if it's against whoever, I think she's going to steal the show. And I think, not steal the show, but she's going to win the match. It only makes sense. You don't put this much time and effort and protect this asset as much as you can to just turn around and then her first match have her lose. It just, even if it is against Bianca, and which isn't really a loss if you put up a good fight, but a loss is a loss at the end of the day, and I don't know. I don't see them doing that. Now, there's one more that I wanted to talk about, and that is Logan Paul. Now, I don't know what's going on there. I feel like they're setting up for a three-way because they have the heat with Logan Paul and KO. They had that Elimination Chamber, it was still going on, and then all of a sudden Logan Paul screws over KO, or not KO, Randy Orton. So I'm very hesitant to say if it's going to be a three-way or maybe it's just going to be a one-on-one. But I don't see them dropping KO out of the story. Like, for him to stop now, it would be the equivalent of KO saying, well, okay, Elimination Chamber's done. Done. Have a good day, Logan. After everything that happened, how mad he was and how heated he was trying to get to Logan, I just don't see him doing that. And Randy Orton, clearly he's not pulled into it, so I don't see that happening either. So, I mean, I think it's got to be a three-way. I could be wrong. But for my guess, out of the three of them, you're talking Logan, you're talking Randy, and KO. I would put my money on Logan. And there's no storyline to tell me that because, it hasn't happened yet. But I'd put my money on Logan. Just because Logan is, for the short period of time as he's been in the business, he is phenomenal. He has adapted to the business as if he's been there for 20 years. His first big match with Rey Mysterio, how he saved him from busting his head open because he didn't even make the full flip. I don't know. He's just adapted to it so well. He can get so much heat. He's a phenomenal athlete. He's, like I said, he's adapting to this perfectly. And so for me, I would love to see him going forward. And if he's not the winner, I would hope they would then take that time to make him go for something bigger. But that's yet to be seen. So, this is kind of just my idea and my thoughts on what could possibly happen for WrestleMania 40. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. And if you like what you see, please feel free to ring the bell, subscribe, click the notifications, and you'll be updated with all my new videos. I'm posting more and more. So I'm just kind of getting into this. I have an audio mixer coming, so I'll be being able to play with the volume and the audio a little bit more. So, yeah, I appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching who are watching. And I'll see you at my next video. Oh, don't forget, March 5th and March 8th, 2K24, WWE. See you on there, guys. Have a good night.